Now take a look at this. Migrant crimes surging in the U.S. under President Biden. Former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf joins me now. Chad, why can't we keep criminals out? And when we've got them in custody, why do we release them?
Well, it's a great question, and I think the fundamental answer to that is because the majority of individuals coming across that border are not being held. They're not being put in mandatory detention until we understand who they are and why they want to come to the U.S. Instead, over the last 3.5 years under President Biden, it's this catch and release policy, right? And what does that mean? It means Border Patrol apprehends these individuals, but ICE is being directed to release them into the country. And so you have individuals who have ill intentions, nefarious reasons coming into the country, being released into American communities, and then certainly taking these, just this dangerous actions, whether it's there in Houston, it's in Georgia, or wherever it might be, in Maryland, wherever it might be. We're seeing the deadly consequences of this policy.
Has this catch and release program actually been speeded up so we get more in more quickly? Yeah. I believe that's happened, correct?
Well, it is, because what we've seen is that the fundamental goal of the Biden administration has been to process these individuals into the country quicker and faster, right? The problem they're trying to solve is the lines and the backlog and not having migrants huddled in Border Patrol facilities or under bridges in Del Rio, as we saw back in 2022. And so what they've designed is a system that allows these individuals into the country quicker and quicker and quicker. And that's what you're seeing here. I believe one of the migrants, one of the illegal aliens that came over had an ankle bracelet, right? It's a GPS tracker. Mm-hmm. We call that alternatives to detention. And what you will hear from the Biden administration is that they're proud that they're putting more and more individuals on alternatives to detention. But it does no good. If they're going to offend and they're not going to be removed, why do you have the program to begin with?
A group of nearly 70 Democrats wants the administration to consider opening pathways for Palestinian refugees to come to America. You think that's a good idea?
I don't. I don't understand why the United States needs to take this step. There are numerous countries in that region, in Europe and elsewhere, that could provide refuge for individuals trying to leave Gaza if that's what really they want to do. The idea of moving individuals out of a conflict area like Gaza, it should be you find refuge in the safest third country possible, so that when conditions improve, they can go back to their home country. My guess is that if any of these individuals come to the United States, they will have no intention of leaving the United States and going back. So I don't understand the approach. The United States is not the only country that individuals can seek refuge in.
How many times have we had this conversation, Chad Wolf? And then we just had another one. Chad Wolf, thanks very much indeed. We'll see you again soon.